Here we have a 1993 Lexus Sc300, and I'm going to show you how to do the taillight bulbs on it. We'll come around here to the back. The trunk struts are weak, so I've got it propped open with a hood prop. I pulled out these panels, and I had this plastic fuse bus panel fall down in there, so when I pulled this out, I had to reach all the way down to the bottom to get it, and when I did, I got a handful of water. And what I've discovered is, can you see that? This is from the fuel filler cap area. Do you see that? And there's this plastic hose here that's supposed to go on there, and it will reach, but it's a real brittle plastic, so I may have to extend it a little bit so it fits and get a... But anyway, when we wash the car, of course, water goes in the gas filler seam there, and then through this pitot tube or whatever, overflow tube. And since this was off, instead of draining outside the car, it filled up the inside of the trunk. And Lexus coats these so well, there's no rust or anything. But anyway, I got a ShamWow and dried it out, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But anyway, back to the taillight. I pulled these panels out, and it looks like a bolt there, a couple of bolts there. These have to be removed. It looks like this whole plastic taillight assembly has to come out in order to get to the bulbs. So that's what we'll do next, is remove those. Looks like a 10mm socket, deep well socket, and we'll get this out. Okay, we've got the 10mm deep well socket. I'll put it on here. And as a note, when you replace these bulbs, make sure you use the factory spec bulb, whether it's Sylvania or whoever, because you can't really use LEDs or anything because they don't draw the correct amount of current. And of course, when you have a bulb out, you want it to show on the dash. There's a orange little car light with little radiating ambient light from the tail end of the car, which means light bulbs out. So if you want to make that indicator go out, which means all your bulbs are working, you have to use correct bulbs, and LED bulbs don't draw enough current, not yet anyway. So stick with the factory bulbs if you want it to all work correctly. So that's just a note. I'll continue on here. Keep in mind, you got to remove these little plastic buttons. You stick a Phillips in there, screw them out as far as they come, and then you still have to pry them out. But anyway, got them out, and I found a screw right under the lip here, excuse me, a nut. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, are the only 4, I believe. So got one more to get off here. And that should get the lens off so we can get to the bulb socket. That explains why the previous owner ignored the... Oh, here it comes. Here, I need both hands. I'm going to have to turn this off. Okay, I started the car. I hit the brake pedal, and no little bitty orange-yellow car tail light indicator comes on. And yes, I know the heat gauge and fuel gauge needles cannot be seen. The LEDs, it's like, again, the Japanese took a page from the Germans and had to make it complicated. These needles are actually a row of LEDs inside the needle, and the needle is powered. There's a little power bus behind the needle, and it powers it. They couldn't use fiber optics or just illuminate them and dip them in a fluorescent paint scheme or anything. They had to actually put LEDs. I guess it's like the Christmas lights, right? One LED. There's like tiny little micro LEDs in the needle The needle's actually this wide, but the part lit is pretty skinny. And when one LED goes out, they all go out. So anyway, that's our next project, is to figure a solution. There's a guy that makes the little LED grids, and you put them in, solder them in, and that kind of thing. It's like $100, you get all 4. That's an idea, because everything works great. But anyway, that's the deal. And it looks like hit the brake pedal a few more times. Yeah, no indicator. So I'll go ahead and put all this back together, and I'll fix that little drain hose. So there you have it, tail lights and a few constructive criticisms and about the gauges, the needles. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, pulled her out, not a big deal, and this is how she looks. Not sure why Lexus didn't want to give access, maybe for sealing. And then they do that dumb thing with the gas overflow and tube. And then they go through all this work of sealing it and running all the wiring through a rubber garment. But then you got these holes here, so I don't get it. It's almost like they took a page from the Germans, how to make things complicated. But, oh, this lens looks like it's cracked a little bit there. Huh. Okay, well, we'll get this bulb replaced. I might want to run a bead of silicone here. Oh, it looks like it's, even though it's cracked, it looks like it's lens within a lens. It's still sealed. I may just run a bead anyway. Wouldn't hurt. Keep it sealed. It's got little screws here so you can... Don't understand it. But anyway, I'm just after the bulb. So we'll get the... It's this one right here. Yeah, it's just a twist lock. And it's a single filament. Just for the brake only. Okay, and here's a little periscope ventilation tube to keep the, and another one to keep it dry if water does ever get in there. That's pretty clever. Okay, we'll go ahead and replace this bulb and see if it makes our orange indicator go out on the dash. Okay, so after all this work, I have to make a correction right here at the end. This bulb down here was the one that we needed to replace, and it's working fine. And it is a 1157, a dual filament for the brake light. The 1156 is the one above it, which is the blinker. So anyway, replaced, doing well, and it is a 1157. So a dual filament. Bye. Okay, well, I've ohmed this out, and as you can see, this bulb is good. So I'm not sure why it's not coming on when we hit the brakes and making the indicator come on. Looks like the ground is hooked up. Looks like power. I think I have some electrical contact cleaner lubricant spray. I'll give it a shot. Then I'll wiggle this bulb in a few times, in and out, and see if it's working. And if it is, I'll put it all back together. It may be all the problem is. This is a 93? So, what is that? 20, 30 years old now? Wow. 25 years? It's been around. So, maybe it just needs some cleaning and servicing, and we'll put it back together. But anyway, this is how you replace a bulb. I'm going to use this Radio Shack cleaner and lubricant spray. It's the best stuff I've found. And Radio Shack is kind of like closing stores and stuff, so I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to get this stuff. It's pretty expensive. It's like $8-9 a can, but it works great. If anybody knows of anything is good or better, post in the comment sections. So I'd like to know where to get it. But I'll give this a shot and then shoot the end of the bulb and work it in and out 3 or 4 or 5 times, and we'll give her a test. Okay, and she's back in. I'm just going to leave this stuff pulled out for now. I cut a little piece of that butyl line off so I can go get some. I'm just going to put new line on there and join to that because this has shrank over time, and that's why it pulled off of there just from shrinkage. And it pulled off, and you can't really get it back on. You can't pull it that far because it shrank so much. So just going to get some extension. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts. This comes off, and the bulb for the brake is a single element 1156, and I got dual elements, which is wrong. But anyway, the bulb was good, so I'll just return these. I'm going down there for this anyway. So there you have it. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye.